Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Emmerdale star Joe Warrenplant on Jacob's shock romance and David's exit. Emmerdale kicks off a big storyline for Jacob Gallagher next week as he spends the night with Victoria Barton, marking the beginning of a secret relationship for the pair. Jacob and Victoria decide to keep their passion under wraps for as long as possible, aware that Jacob's dad David will be heartbroken over his ex-girlfriend moving on with someone so close to home. The plot seems likely to have major consequences for the village, with David's exit scenes due to air within the next few weeks. Joe Warrenplant, who plays Jacob, recently caught up with Digital Spy for an exclusive chat about what's in store. Jacob has spent a lot of time around Victoria, as David was in a relationship with her. It's been brewing over a long period of time. For a while, I don't think Jacob quite understood what he was feeling for Victoria, and he probably tried to push it away, knowing the relationship that she had with David. It's something that's taken him by surprise. Although it was Victoria's fault when Jacob had the allergic reaction at the height a few weeks ago, she also saved his life, so maybe that was a catalyst for Jacob's feelings. That shone a light on it and gave Jacob a bit more clarity for how he was feeling for Victoria. In the end, he just really loves her. It comes about following some scenes with Jacob and a character called Abby, who's one of David's online dates. David is really picky, so when he goes on a date with Abby, he realizes that he maybe finds her a bit annoying, and he doesn't want to go on the second date. David sends Jacob to tell Abby that he's not going to be able to make their second date. Abby is really upset, so Jacob is left trying to pick up the pieces. Victoria is working in the hide at the time, and Jacob picks up that she's acting off with him and seems a little bit jealous. Eventually, Jacob confronts Victoria about this, and there's quite a heated discussion. Jacob reminds Victoria that she's the one who put the brake on things, not him. She tells him to leave her alone, but that was all Jacob needed to know that Victoria has those feelings as well. Jacob takes that opportunity to have his first kiss with Victoria, and things go from there. They definitely have some regrets, for sure. Jacob is really close to David, and he does love him deep down. Victoria still cares for David too, so there's always that heavy regret for both of them. But this was a spur-of-the-moment thing, and it felt right for Jacob and Victoria. At that moment, they're not really thinking too much about David's feelings, as they're in their own little bubble. It's something that heavily builds up over the next few weeks, all the regrets and betrayal on both parts. It's terrifying. It's the worst thing that could ever happen in that moment. But also, it breaks up a nice moment between Jacob and Victoria. I think that's what stands out the most in Jacob and Victoria's relationship. Actually, they have really sweet moments, and there's a real connection. So although it's scary trying to keep this secret from David, the power and energy is too much for them to just ignore. They're just so swept up in it all, and it's real love, but it's an awful situation for David to be there. Jacob knows that Leela can be quite nosy in his business, and he picks up on that. She says, "I'm going to find out who your girlfriend is." Obviously, Jacob is super scared about the possibility of anyone finding out, not just Leela and David, but everybody else in the village, because people gossip and talk. Jacob's smart, and he knows how to make sure that people don't find out. At the same time, though, sometimes he jumps the gun a little bit, or does things without really thinking, because he's passionate about the situation. Sometimes Jacob might leave a little trail behind, or put himself in situations which may be detrimental, as people could find out. It's a tough situation for him. We were told about this in a story meeting about 3 months ago now. It's a story that's been on the cards for a while. It's Emmerdale, isn't it? Laughs. It was a bit of a surprise, but we were more than happy to do the storyline. It's going to get people talking, and that's what we do it for. So it's been good. It's been a pleasure to film. I get on well with Izzy Hodgins, who plays Victoria, so it's been amazing, really. She's a lovely girl, and it's been nice to do these scenes together.